Are secret beings quietly shaping human evolution? And have they been here all along? What if we're not alone in shaping our future? What if unseen beings, silent, emotionless, always watching, are guiding humanity's evolution without our consent? In this Fringe-inspired episode, we explore the mystery of the observers. Are we following our own path, or are we just part of someone else's experiment? These tarot questions step beyond conspiracy and science fiction and into the eerie possibilities hiding just outside our perception. Let's see what the cards reveal. Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back if you've never been to this channel. As always, we're going to jump right in to this episode 4, Fringe Inspired, and see what the cards have to share with us. So starting with question 1, who or what is silently watching humanity's evolution and why? So let's see where this goes. We're kind of looking for the nature of these watchers. Not just if they exist, but what their purpose actually is. And we have newly mixed piles here for this episode. All right, so we have Carry On Wayward Son. Making sure you can see, my monitor's over to my left. We have Towering Inferno. Boy, sometimes shuffling is easy and other times the cards just don't work like you expect them to. Okay, we have Bus Stop. And one more here before we start actually reading cards. And I always start with Oracle first and then go into Tarot because Oracle doesn't read my mind like Tarot does. Oracle doesn't really care what I think. Okay, so we have Suspect here. Reiterating the question, who or what is silently watching humanity's evolution and why? So we have Carry On Wayward Son. I almost feel like these beings, these watchers, are from our past, ancestors, but yet still alive. It's kind of how it feels. And with Towering Inferno, I get the impression that they are very tall and they glow. They're glowing individuals. They're tall and they glow. And then with Bus Stop, I feel like this is, since we seem to be getting information about what they look like, which I really did not expect, I'm thinking that they're very beautiful people. I mean, we've got Marilyn Monroe on here. And I'm just saying, I think they're very beautiful people. They are from our past, the way that it looks, but still living, really keeping an eye on what we're moving forward with in the future. They're tall, they glow. Maybe that's just an aura thing. And they're beautiful people. And with Suspect, if we would see them, we would immediately, I think, really love them because of how they look. I mean, this is kind of the superficial part of humans, right? Is beautiful people tend to gain more attention, allegedly. And I think that's kind of the impression that we would have of them if, for instance, they were a first contact from another world and they landed a spaceship and there we were waiting for it to open and these beautiful glowing beings stepped out. We would be like, oh, right? Well, That's what it's like at first. But then there's something about them. It doesn't really show here, but there's something about them that's very suspect as to their intentions, I guess. So let's see what more we have. The Bone Collector. Song of Songs. Yeah, that was a little creepy right out. And the Princess Bride. I feel like with the Bone Collector, and no, I don't believe that these watchers are taking us and using our bones for things. These beings are extremely detailed, very observant. They find the smallest of details to maybe pick at, if that makes any sense. They see every little thing that we do and log it. If they like it, that's great. If they don't, you can imagine maybe what they would look like if they disapproved of something. They also seem to know, with the Song of Songs, they also seem to be able to see into the heart of the individual, which is interesting. That tells me that they're very powerful beings, and even if they are from the past, and I'm not exactly sure how that works, because past, present, future, we go linear, but time doesn't work allegedly the way that we're told. And I have a funny feeling that they actually love us. I'm not sure why, other than the fact that they love our heart songs, what our hearts represent. But I get the feeling that they really love us. Whether they have good intentions towards us, despite loving us, is a whole nother thing. But this is what I get from this. So let's pull some tarot and see where this goes. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups with Carry On Wayward Son. They are connected to us somehow, obviously. It isn't just a random, if you can see, it's like galactic almost in this card. But they are connected to us somehow. Maybe they are us. Yeah, this one's a hard one to put together, because for me, most of the time, the Two of Cups is getting to know self, really loving self, and kind of incorporating your light and your shadow side. And in this case, I feel like they are us. Maybe they are us from the past, and they maybe have somehow that they can change how our future, their future, moved forward. Or they're us from the future. But I feel like it's past, because when you're saying carry on wayward son, that means you're a parent and you have children. So let's move on with the next one. We have 8 of Swords. Okay, so we talked about them being tall and glowing. And I feel as though they have what we would call perfect communication. They have mastered thought. They have mastered speaking to one another without moving their mouth. They're very telepathic. So we have tall, glowing, master communicators that are like us. Then we have the 8 of Wands. They're beautiful people who don't let any grass grow under their derrieres. They're fast-moving individuals. And to some degree, with this 8 of Wands, I feel like It's just a very passionate energy that they have. So maybe that's part of the glow. We have fire here. This is a fire card. It's a passionate energy. They're very passionate, beautiful people, which means to me their auras are just incredible. And then we have the Seven of Cups. But like with Suspect, there's a lot of things about them that if we were to meet them, we wouldn't be sure of their intention. Their intention might be wonderful 1 second, and the next second, absolutely terrifying. So we would never really know what we're going to get from them. It's a very suspect thing. The Bone Collector, we have the Hierophant. Again, very detail-oriented people. And there's a lot they would love to teach us, mentor us somehow. But I don't think that they are in that position as yet. But because they are mentors, because they are teachers, they don't miss anything. And look how straightforward these eyes. It's like they're focused on us. And then the Devil card with the Song of Songs. In a way, it seems like they feel like our hearts can be a detriment to us. They can make us give up things that we shouldn't give up our power. They can make us give away our power, not the beings, but our hearts. We have heart songs that we follow, something that's pure to us individually. And they worry about that. They love our hearts, but they see how easily we go astray when we listen to our hearts. And we have Six of Pentacles. They would like to share in this love, or let us know that they do have a love for humanity, and that they would like to, if they could, share in that love with us, and then also give us things that would help us move forward in a better way. So I don't feel like, at least in first impression here, I don't feel like these observers are evil in any way. I think they have our best interest in mind, and that they just want to teach us. At least, again, that's first impression here. So let's keep going. We're going to do the cleanup here. And if you're new to my channel, the cleanup part of things might seem a little bit slow as I tuck the smaller cards in different places within the deck. But I do that because I feel like a shuffle just doesn't quite mix them up well enough, and I end up getting too many cards over and over again. When I do this and then I shuffle, I feel like I'm getting things mixed up a lot more. And it's the same with the oracle cards here. I put them randomly in the deck, so if they come out a second time, then we know that they're important to pay attention to. All right, so question 2 here. What have they, meaning the observers, already seen in our future that we have yet to face? So we know that they can see our timeline, see ahead, see into the future, what's going to happen with us. So we have cat people, it's always an interesting card for me. Never know quite where it's going to take you. Speed. Elvis. last but not least, ball of confusion. So again, the question, what have they already seen in our future that we have yet to face? With cat people, I feel like they're telling us that there are some very sneaky people running amongst us and that they do not have our best interest in mind. In fact, the way it seems is that they would, and this is alleged, they would like to eliminate as many of us as possible, as quickly as they possibly can, and in whatever way they can possibly do it. Now remember, this is what these beings have seen in our future. But it seems, whatever way that they choose to do this elimination, okay, to us, to some degree, it looks like something fun, something good, something colorful, something that we would have fun with or laugh at, or it says tickle me here. So to us, it doesn't look, well, the other card was suspect. However, it is very misleading. It's a ball of confusion. It's very misleading. It's corrupt and will more than likely cause quite a bit of chaos. So let's see, black and white, gladiator, the power of love. There it is. Okay, so I feel like part of the elimination that these beings have seen has to do with racial complexities. They're trying to pit people against people. And that shows here in Gladiator. They want certain ones to start with anyway, certain ones to go into a ring and be eliminated. And I'm not saying like a show like in Gladiator. We're just saying that they've really pinpointed certain people that they want gone first. And what they're sharing here with the power of love, they're trying to tell us that we can change this outcome. Love is so powerful. It's an unshakable force. We need to love one another. We need to love the differences within us. And perhaps maybe these beings from our past with the Carry On Wayward Son from question 1, maybe they didn't do that. Maybe they followed this path. And they're trying to make sure that we don't follow this path, that we don't allow people to dictate how we should feel about another race or another person in general, or group of people in general. So let's see what tarot has to share. We have 10 of Pentacles. All right, what these people are trying to do is create a legacy for themselves. Whoever these humans are, and these are not the Watchers, these are people right now on this earth that have this plan and have been working towards making this plan work for them. It's their legacy. It's their earth legacy. Then we have the High Priestess. Yeah, they want to do it as fast as possible and as secretly as possible. Five of Pentacles. So it looks really colorful to us, really fun, really catches our eye, tickles our fancy, okay? It's crap. It is anything but truthful and is going to cause a lot of hardship for a lot of people. Ball of confusion, the hangman, or the hanging man in this card. So remember, the ball of confusion is the misleading information and the chaos and the corruption that's going on. And this is the perspective that we are missing when we think everything is going beautifully. Everything is fun and things are being done in our best interest. We need to look at things differently. We need to see things for what they are. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. And black and white here was where they're trying to pit people against people. The Knight of Pentacles is, well, that is my card for life quest. Our life quest should not be to be at odds with people that are different than we are. It is a matter of coming together because there's room for everybody and the world would not be complete. And if you're looking at black and white as the song, the world would not be complete if we had black but no white, or white and no black. In colors, just colors in general. What if we had red but never had blue and white? So there is room for everyone in this quest of life. So then we have strength. Yeah, so they want to kind of throw us all in a ring together, let us fight it out and see who comes out the strongest. Ick. Not the watchers. These people that want us gone, that are earth beings. Then we have the Eight of Cups. What is planned here will come to pass if we walk away from understanding that love is all it takes. That accepting and loving all people. But if we walk away from love, all of this, these people will definitely win. So let us get cleaned up here and see what more these observers have to share with us for question 3. And there are 6 questions in this episode. All right, so oracles. Oh, forgot one. A lot of times I forget those smaller ones. They kind of camouflage themselves on the larger ones. All right, and if you're new here and you're hearing snoring in the background through this video, that is my Chihuahua, who absolutely loves to nap and snore through pretty much every video I do. So I apologize in advance for that, but it is who he is. All right, so question 3. How are these observers subtly influencing humanity without us realizing? And we have Elvis again. This is supposed to look at if there's any manipulation going on or any specific direction that they're pushing us to pay attention to. Midnight Train to Georgia. The Net. and Back to the Future. All right. So with Elvis, I really think they want to see us laughing. They want to see us happy and laughing, enjoying life, as though somebody is behind us tickling us all the time. And it says, tickle me here. Because number one, laughter is the best medicine. Old saying by us. However, and laughter raises our vibrations, raises our frequency, which can actually, I think, keep us a little safer from those cat people that were in the last question. And by the way, that is not saying that people with cats are those bad guys. That was just the card, just the movie, that movie poster that card came from. And then Midnight Train to Georgia, they're trying to tell us that, okay, laughter's the best medicine, raise the frequency. Get back to the nitty gritty. Find out where you come from, your roots, and start living a little more simply. Because with the net, this is what our life is all about. We really don't have lives of our own anymore. Allegedly, there are those out there who know everything we do because of the things we own, the computers, the phones, etc. So they're saying, do your best to return to a simple life. Because this is what's going on. And eventually, maybe it can be cleaned up in such a way that we can go back to that future, this future, without having it be corrupted. So let's see what else is being shared. We have vertigo, toys, and too much time on my hands. All right, so with vertigo, the whole idea of all of this can be so dizzying. And you can go down the rabbit hole and find so much here about everything that is going on in the world, everything that is corrupt, allegedly, right? They're reiterating this laughter is the best medicine thing with toys. Laughter is a state of mind. We need to laugh a lot, raise that frequency, play like a child. Children have amazing, vibrant frequencies because they have such joy. They play with toys. They use their imagination. They're in tune, kind of in the moment all the time. There's no past, no future. They're in the moment. And that's part of what I think that they're saying here. If you have no purpose and aren't doing anything productive, if you're spending all of your time watching television, if you're spending all of your time on your phone and you're not doing any creating, not doing anything that really sparks you, that's just showing unfulfilled potential. And they're urging you to get back to your authentic self, get back to who you are, because then there would be no lack of purpose. Your frequency would be high, life would be good. So that's what they're subtly trying to push us towards, is getting rid of or not being so dependent upon this. Because if the beings, the cat people that we saw in the last question, if they can't observe every little thing we do, they really don't have the power over us anymore because they don't know what we're doing. And then, let's see, we have the King of Wands. And isn't that funny that the king comes out with Elvis, right? And the energy is that of a king. That is the vibrant, cannot be beat energy. Joy of living, happiness, laughter. That is a great energy to be carrying. Then we have the King of Pentacles. Yes, to have that really good life. And we have King of Wands, which is energy, King of Pentacles, which is having your life exactly as you want it, being in control of your life, structuring your own life, not having somebody else making it a certain way. So getting back to your roots, finding your authentic self, offers these. And we have the Five of Pentacles again in this position. So yeah, this is a way to take away and cause chaos and hardship to many. Back to the future, we have the Empress. Yeah, we can create it. We can create a much better future. And they are urging us, these observers are urging us to attempt to do that by following what they're sharing here. And then we have the Ten of Swords. To me, that's the ultimate communication card. It is being in total mastery of your thoughts and the things that you create, manifest because of your thoughts. If you go down the rabbit hole and you believe everything that you encounter there, okay, you're probably going to end up in the wrong energy, a very powerful energy, but the wrong energy. So with the Ten of Swords, this is just saying, open up your mind so that these things can come to fruition. You have to have an open mind to be able to enjoy or be childlike. Let's see where we go here. Five of Wands. Yeah, it's challenging yourself to have that open mind and to laugh and enjoy life and allow that child, that inner child, to come out and help you with that open mind. There really is no reason to go down the rabbit hole. There isn't. That's just distracting and perfect for, yeah. And then we have the Ten of Cups. Again, we're back to love. The love family dynamic, that's the ultimate love card, like the power of love in the last question. And the Princess Bride in the first question. All about love. So that's a huge part of things. Raising that frequency. Being the king of your energy. Being the king of your life. Meaning the one in control of it. This is not gender related. This is the one in control of it. Creating something that allows you to be happy and always the love frequency. So far, I'm not really getting anything bad about these observers. Not even a little bit. So let's get things cleaned up and move on to question 4. We can honestly say that they're trying to push us towards something good for us. And if they are from our past and they are meant to be our future, we can kind of understand why. Maybe if we succumb to those who don't have our best interests in mind here on Earth, maybe if we succumb to them, these observers won't exist. Hard to say. All right, so almost there. And question 4. What is being suppressed in humanity to ensure a specific outcome? It said that the observers in the Fringe show have no emotions. So that's kind of what it's talking about. What are we losing or being guided away from by these observers What do they want us to suppress? So we have winter. Ooh. And we have wildwood weed. White rabbit. There we go down the rabbit hole again. Can't pick that up. There we go. Fingers just did not want to work. Then we have pushover. Okay, so again, the question is, what is being suppressed in humanity to ensure a specific outcome? It appears that someone wants us to be cold or a little more frigid, a little more, just cold to some degree. And I'm not saying this is the observers. I'm going more towards the cat people here, because they would like us to be cold. Remember, they wanted us in the ring, pitted against each other, right? What the observers are guiding us to or towards is more of a natural healing, a natural way of living, finding our own hidden remedies for things. We're supposed to ask the deeper questions. You don't necessarily have to go down the rabbit hole completely, but asking questions. Instead of being like the cat people want us to be, they just think we're pushovers, that we can't think for ourselves, and that we can't live simply. They feel like we need them. We need the technology. We need all of these things that they've been throwing at us. And these observers are saying, no, that's not the case. We have national treasure, frequency, and gypsies, tramps, and thieves. Don't come at me over that card. It is a song by Cher. Okay, so national treasure. That's what we are. We are national treasures. All of us. Individually and together. And again, here's that frequency. That frequency can change this coldness, this lack of love. Because remember, winter is a time when everything dies. So if we don't care, our frequency is probably not very good. So they're saying, remember, we're natural, or we're national treasures. We need to keep that frequency going so that they cannot make us cold. That we aren't pushovers. We do not want to destroy one another. And gypsies, tramps, and thieves, if you think about the spirit of a gypsy, someone who has gypsy heritage, they're very resilient. They live authentically. Their paths are their own, for sure, their own. They live naturally. They have natural healing. This is what this is all about. Again, getting back to our original selves, our authentic selves, depending on not those that would like us to be those pushovers, be cold-blooded and not care, and we've got murder here. Okay? So We don't want to be like this. We want our frequencies high. We want to realize what national treasures we actually are and get back to the basics. Really trust who we are. Because otherwise, what's being suppressed or what we're being controlled or the specific outcome that is wanted by the cat people is this. So let's see what else Tarot has to share. All right. So with winter, we have the King of Swords. Yeah, the cat people are doing everything that they can to control our minds. They can control our minds. They can control pretty much anything about us. Five of Wands. Yeah, they try to tell us that everything that has good energy is bad for us. That it has an energy that just will make us very sick. That's what they're trying to tell us, the cat people. And just to reiterate, the cat people are the bad guys on Earth, allegedly, and the observers are completely different, okay? They're just watching us. We have Knight of Cups. Yeah, this is just saying, ask questions. Open up and ask. Be active about how you feel. Be active about how you feel, and also with your intuition. Let your intuition come forward and be a little bit active too. So, in asking the right questions. And pushover is the Two of Wands. Yeah, we need to make a decision here. What energy do we want to have? Do we want to be like this? Or do we want to be like this? They're trying to suppress us being like this. The cat people. And National Treasure, we have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, we are all so very different and have so many different energies among us. The potential for who we are as humans is incredible. We are national treasures. There's no doubt about it. We are. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Spin the wheel. On an everyday basis, our frequency runs high, and then it runs low, and then it's in between, and then it's low, and then it's high. And these observers, as we saw, are trying to share with us how to keep that frequency at a level where these cat people cannot affect us. So it doesn't have to be a roulette wheel. We know what to do. And we have Eight of Cups. Yeah. They have this power because we have literally walked away from love. And this card has come in this position twice now. We've walked away from love. We've walked away from our intuition. And what they would like us to do is, again, to live authentically and master love, because the 8 is a card of mastery. Cups is love and intuition. Master your love, master your intuition. Live authentically. Get back into healing and raise that frequency. Keep it up there, because we really are national treasures and we are not pushovers. So let's pick this up. I'll tell you, this reading went totally different than I expected it to, which oftentimes that does happen, even surprises me. So get these picked up and we'll move on to question 5. Oof. All right. This is also a way to keep these piles mixed. I don't put them back in the same pile I got them from. All right, so question 5. Is there a fracture point where humanity could break free of their timeline? Now, their timeline, we are talking about the observers here, but we've also been talking about the cat people, which is the bad guys, right, on Earth. This is more or less looking at whether we're stuck in a loop and whether or not we can get out of that loop. Top Gun. Night at the Museum. The Postman. Blackwater. All right, so question again, is there a fracture point where humanity could break free of, and I'm going to say this timeline, not their timeline, this timeline, whether we can break out of this very unhealthy loop that we're in as humans? And what these observers are sharing with us is that we can break the time barrier. We can. If, and this is a big if for many, we can open up our minds, open up our imagination, and see what is actually possible, no matter how impossible it actually seems. I mean, if you've seen the Night at the Museum, all the displays come to life at night. And this guy, Ben Stiller, or the actor Ben Stiller, had to come to grips with it. I mean, he was pretty freaked out at first, for sure. But that is what these observers are saying, that we can break this barrier, we can break the loop, the time barrier, if we can open up our minds and our imaginations. Then we can begin to restore life as we want it to be. We can create our own timeless flow. We can see our own futures in the black water. And if you've ever scryed, this is using water and black food coloring and then using it kind of like a crystal ball. That's black water. Fifth Dimension. The Night Chicago Died. And Release. Okay, so Fifth Dimension is supposed to be where we're headed. We're ascending towards the fifth dimension, which this is the ultimate place, at least allegedly, is the ultimate place for our light bodies. We can create whatever we want there. We can be whoever we want to be there. We can just float as light if we choose. We can have physical bodies. We can do whatever our heart desires in the fifth dimension because we know how and we have that power. So the observers would like us to get to this point. That's what we're trying to do. That's what the age of Aquarius is about, is ascending to the fifth dimension. This means, with the night Chicago died, putting an end to the historical fiction that we've been told, allegedly, or just the fiction that we've been told, and are being told. Because a lot of our beliefs, a lot of who we have become is based on these historical fallacies, fiction. They're saying we need to release those things. We need to release the beliefs that do not help us anymore from the things that we've been told. And if you notice, this is pretty much the only, what do you want to say, bad card in this layout. If you want to look at it as good and bad here, yes, The Postman is an apocalyptic movie, but this is where they're restoring everything. It's after the fact, they're bringing everything back to a natural state. Here, everything's burning up. All the historical crap and whatever that we've been fed, allegedly, and all the loss and tragedy from different wars and who we've been told are heroes, who has sacrificed for specific things, and, we have crime and all that. They want us to release all of that because there's no room in the fifth dimension for that. So yes, we can break this time barrier, but there are things that have to be done to do so. Okay. Tarot says, we have strength. So yeah, it's going to take, we need to be the best of the best. We need to have the strength to be able to move forward in this way if we're going to break that time barrier, break the loop. 5 of Swords. It's going to be a real stretch for some people to open up their minds to that kind of thinking. It'll cause a lot of chaos in the mind, but it is necessary. It's kind of like I've had a YouTube channel for many years called Fairy Quest, and I take photos of little people. I call them, well, they're little people. I call them fairies because it worked well with the YouTube algorithm. But that's really hard for some people to even wrap their minds around. Fairies don't exist. There's no such thing. It's all mythical and so forth. But is it? I take some pretty amazing pictures. So you have to be able to open up your mind. This is what the observers are saying. And not allow that opening up to create so much chaos. Give it a chance. So then we have the Lovers, which is a choice card. So we can rebuild or not. We can stay exactly where we are, or we can rebuild. Change things up. And the King of Cups with Black Water. Remember, this was a kind of a timeless flow, being able to see the future, being able to create our future. This is the ultimate intuition card. This is the ultimate love card. Again, love is the key. It keeps telling us love is the key. And we have Judgment. This is a calling. It's not necessarily being judged by a higher power. This is a calling. We're being called. The observers are calling us to this. Yep, there's the Devil card. It says stop giving your power away to these beliefs, these things we've been told. No more of that. We have to release that. We have to release those beliefs, open up our mind, and have the strength to do so. And then we have the Queen of Cups. We're going to love ourselves a lot more and be able to take care of ourselves a lot better if we release all of this. We'll be different people. We'll be people that we can love and believe in. All right, so last question coming up here. Question 6. Get this all cleaned up. I hope you've been enjoying this. I really love doing these readings a lot. And everyone is so different as to what, you might expect it to be. So if you are enjoying this content, please feel free to like and subscribe, maybe share and comment. I love comments. Good ones. No, I just love being able to read your comments and see where you're coming from, see where your thoughts are. And even if you read something different in the cards, share. I'd love to hear it. Mine is just one perspective. All right, so we have question 6. Why are we not supposed to remember that we're being observed? Kind of like that question almost makes you feel like it was an agreement between these observers and us. All right, so we have Song of Songs. And we have Don't Look Back. And we have Now You See Me. Okay. That is a great card for this question. I love what these cards do. I really do. Whoa. Almost lost them. Okay. And we have Speed again. All right, so the question again is why are we not supposed to remember that we're being observed? And then what happens if we remember? If our awareness of that returns, okay? So with the Song of Songs, one of the reasons maybe that we weren't supposed to remember is because we won't live our heart song if we know we're being watched. If you've ever tried to do some kind of project and you've got somebody hanging over your shoulder, we kind of know, sorry, I heard my chihuahua do something, and we kind of know how difficult it is to work under pressure like that. So why are we not supposed to remember that we're being observed? Again, so because we would not be following our heart song the way that we should be. Don't Look Back. This is about embracing the call. They want us to feel comfortable that this is a part of what we're supposed to be doing. Embracing the call, like in the last question. It is a calling to ascend, to change everything, go back to our authentic selves. They want that to be a part of who we are and to embrace that call and not look back. Once we do that, they're okay with us seeing them. It says, now you see me. They also want us to see past the illusion of life, past the illusion of what we're seeing on earth. And it's best to do it as quickly as possible. Get started on all this as quickly as possible. We have Anna and the King, Forbidden Planet, and I've Never Been to Me. So with Anna and the King, in that movie, she goes to a country that she's never been to before, and it's so very foreign to her. And she's a woman. Back in the time this movie took place, women really didn't have a lot of power, and that was not what she was accustomed to in her own English country, okay? So with Anna and the King, with this card, the observers want us to embrace diverse cultures. They want us to have respect for other people, other humans, and who they are and why they practice as they do, and so on and so forth. They don't want this to be a planet, well, a forbidden planet right now, and we have an alien here. If you were an alien and you wanted to visit Earth, would you? I always say there's no way that I would come to Earth because I don't want to be shot or dissected the second I land. And that's pretty much what humans are. And I think they're saying the observers are looking at it. We haven't really seen too many aliens because right now this is a forbidden planet. It's not evolved enough for them to feel safe in coming. And then I've Never Been to Me. This is a beautiful song by Charlene, and it is about living superficially. Not really making choices in your life that you can say, I've been all that I can be. This is a life where you're always longing for more and never quite reaching it. So we're not supposed to remember until we understand we have a song of songs, a certain heart purpose that we are meant to follow, and that we embrace that call. Once we do that, and we're on our way to the fifth dimension, as we saw in the last question, they don't care if we see them or not. And they're urging us to get to this point as quickly as possible, following some of the things that they shared in the previous questions. Diversity is huge. We need to embrace that and to respect it. And if you haven't seen this movie, Anna and the King, it's kind of a long one, and it needs to have Jodie Foster and Chow Yun-fat in it. That's the one you should probably watch. It's just the most relatable, at least in my opinion. There are other versions, but yeah, this is a fantastic movie, and it shows how embracing another's beliefs and another's way of living can be very empowering and allow you to learn even more of who you are. We don't want to be the forbidden planet. We want to be able to welcome friendly aliens and say, hey, what do you got to teach us? What can we teach you? Kind of thing. All right, so let's take a look at what tarot has to share here. Song of Songs, we have Queen of Pentacles. Yes, this is having respect and caring for your heart and what your heart chose for this lifetime. And then we have the Page of Cups. This is the message of love, the message of calling you to embrace your call. And then we have the World. Yeah, the world needs to fall into line here, not fall for all the illusion, which this is a show about magic. Now you see me. Not the whole world stop falling for the illusion as quickly as possible. And we have Three of Swords. So this is a card of betrayal, a card of deceit, but it's also a card of growth of knowledge, which I like it for that one. Growth of knowledge. You need to grow your knowledge as quickly as possible about these things. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it is definitely a spin the wheel. Some people will welcome the changes, some people will not. But it is saying, or the observers are saying, this is fate. We have judgment. Yeah, this judgment card in this case literally is, normally it would be a calling, but in this case where the forbidden planet is concerned, I'm saying this is a judgment by those other beings, because we're not the only ones in the universe. Other beings have made a judgment to put us as a forbidden planet until we evolve. And then we have 10 of Pentacles. Yes. The legacy that you want to leave behind is being your authentic self, knowing who you are, having been to you. And if you haven't heard that song by Charlene, listen. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so that is it for this reading, this episode 4 of the Fringe Inspired show. And a teaser for next week is our DNA is shifting, but toward what? When the transformation is complete, will we still be human or something entirely new? All right, that's the teaser for next week. And on the screen too, there is a schedule for the other shows, the shows in general, their times. I do 3 shows every week. So I hope that you'll tune in for more than just the Fringe Inspired shows. So that is it for this show. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I so appreciate it. And until next week, have a great one. Take care.